Welcome back to The Truth with Trinity, and I am your host, Trinity. And if this is your first time tuning into the podcast, welcome. I want to start off by saying Happy New Year to everyone who's listening, and I hope your new year is starting off bright, as with every day. So, I want to jump right into the topic of discussion, which is we're not in competition. Okay, so there's a difference between competing and building. Okay, and I'm referring to us, as people. You know, I want to give a few examples. Like, you know, a lot of us have many talents, and some of us have similar talents: preaching, evangelism, knowledge, uh, the building of black people, and things of that nature. If we know that another brother or sister, um, not has a similar message, but is going in a similar path and trying to help our people, we shouldn't be trying to compete with them. Or even in a small everyday conversation, when you're having one of those building, conscious conversations, you know, it doesn't always have to turn into a debate about who knows more than who. We should be trying to collectively build together. Even in, like I said, branching off into platforms, you know, it shouldn't be about necessarily competing. I mean, it's only human nature, to want your platform to be, very successful. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if we're ever going to make a change within our own communities, we can't keep competing against each other and putting each other down. Because all that is just going to create a domino effect. You know, you trying to put the next sister down, the next sister trying to put the other sister down, and it just keeps going. And even in workplaces, if you have a black manager or a boss and they're just trying to run the shift, whatever your occupation may be, don't disrespect your black managers and give other races of managers more respect. And for example, a lot of times, I mean, it's a different story when you have, a manager that could be black and they are disrespectful and what some may say the high head, arrogantly, trying to harm, other black people on the job. But let's not make it a habit to where we show respect to other races of managers on our job. And just because we have a black manager, we feel like we can do anything. We can slack off on our work or whatever, or we don't have to follow the chain of command when it comes to a black manager because they're black. Because if you've ever noticed with other races and groups of people, they follow more instructions from their own race of people that are in management. And it seems like us as black people, we have it the opposite. We should feel happy and grateful, at times when we do have black management. And that's not to say that everyone, no matter what color a person is, that they should not, have the respect, especially as long as they're giving respect to you. But these are the things that we need to work on. And I believe that a lot of times, us as black people, we do that because, you know, a lot of black people at the job, especially if it's not owned by them, they don't have the power to terminate you. And I think subconsciously we follow more directions from, white superiors because you know that if you backtalk them at the job that you won't have a job. And the black person, as far as the manager or supervisor, doesn't have that proxy power. And it shouldn't be about that because that's slave mentality thinking. Oh, this person can get me fired, so I'm going to do what they tell me to do. And this other person, you know, they may be a manager, but they're not the owner, or they don't have that exact power, because a lot of times, even as blacks, when we go get college education and college degrees, they definitely take a lot of the decision making out of our hands in some fields, more so than our other white counterparts on the job. So those are some of the ways that we shouldn't be competing, calling it crabs in a barrel mentality. Okay, so let's start off this year building each other up. Okay, and this is not to tear anyone else down or any other race, but these are the things that we need to work on as a people if we're ever going to unify, um, and protect ourselves. Because as I said before, you don't see other, like Chinese people, you don't see Asians and Hispanic people in this country really outcrying as much uh, for injustice. I mean, they have their own injustices in this country, as far as being non-white, but what they have is unity. They're able to build businesses. They're able to put their monies together, more so than we are, because we have grown not to be able to even trust each other. Okay, because we're always out for ourselves and not able to see the bigger picture. And I'm hoping that can change for us, because we're better than that. So that pretty much concludes this episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you would like to reach out to me, you can at thetruthwithtrinity@gmail.com. You can also listen to my podcast on YouTube, and it's the same name that I have here. It's been a pleasure. Peace and blessings.